So today we're going to be working on this surfboard style table. It's got brass legs. And let's see what we can do here. So I'm going to be copying this design to show you the various tools from Sketchup and how they can be used. First, we're going to draw a circle. And as we draw the circles are made of multiple sides. This one has 400 sides. I reduced it from originally 24. Now we're going to turn the circle into an ellipse using the scale tool. Sort of the shape. I think it's a little wide, but it's sort of the shape of the table there. Now we're going to use the push-pull tool, and I'm going to type in 1.5 inches. And there we go, the width of the table. Select all. And we're going to take the paint bucket and click on the entire item. That's generally the color. We're going to move that around to make it fit the design in a moment. You can see basically we've got the same shape going on there. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to get this try and move it up to the right height. We'll change the width there, bring it in a little narrower so it's closer to the actual model. It's a bit narrower, it's closer in shape. Again, doesn't have to be exact, we're just trying to illustrate the tools in this video. Now I'm going to take the texture tool and twist it 180 degrees and then move the scale out a bit larger, and then you can just click on the proportion right, and then you can just click on it, grab it, and drag it to the portion of your texture that you've created so it looks similar to the model. You can move the scale back and forth, change the angle, get it just about right, get the specific rosewood wood grain motif that matches the other one. Now we've got the brass legs. They extrude through the top, you can see here. And there's a bit of an angle on the leg to match similar to the elliptical curve. Now we just need to come in here, draw a line. Start drawing a line to draw the top extruding portion of the brass leg piece. We've got those in. Now we're just going to take that information, copy it, and paste it. And now we're going to have these two top pieces. We're going to use these as a basis to build the leg around. Now, these outer edges are obviously a part of the ellipse and they're curved, and we just want them to be straight. We can't see the curve, but it's there. So we're going to create straight lines. So if you're making a brass leg, you don't expect the manufacturer to do a slight elliptical curve on the edge of the legs. So we're just going to make it simple. Now we take this information and we have to try and figure out how to create the base from these two pieces, two top pieces. Now it does extrude a 1/16 of an inch, so we're going to put a 1/16 of an inch there. We'll just progress through this slowly using all the tools. Now let's see. Use push pull. We're going to make it 11 inches. Just pull it out. Click in 11, enter. And we'll just randomly pull this down. It's kind of basically the piece. Now, the width of the table is 1.5, so we're going to use the push-pull tool, pull this down 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 plus the 1/16 of an inch that's extruding to the top. It's basically the piece. Let's bring this down slightly. And that's what we have. And we have to somehow insert it into the table. Now I'm going to take away, I'm going to cut out a portion of the table so the textures won't overlap. I'm going to just cut out a little notch there so we lose that line, because that line is going to be sticking through the brass leg if we don't remove it. So I'll just create a little notch. Doesn't really matter what length it is. So we'll just erase that, and then we'll go around to the other side. We'll do the exact same thing. Again, I like to use the textures during the videos to illustrate, this mid-century modern aesthetic that I like. And sometimes it's very difficult to see the lines, but cut out another random notch here. Grab the erase tool, erase that line, and then we've got our two notches. Now, take this piece, going to select all, right click, make component, just click OK. Going to take a brass color and color the whole thing. Now we're going to have the difficult task of maneuvering this component. Since it is a component, it won't stick to the drawing. It's a separate piece. Otherwise, if we just moved it and let go of it, it would be stuck within the piece. And if we tried to move, it'd be very difficult. That's why we made it a component, so it's two separate pieces and they can move around independently. Now I just have to find the correct point, try and get this slide in correctly. We'll zoom in, find some pieces. Now that does have to come up 1/16 of an inch, so it's difficult to grab and get the piece to move in the exact direction because it's going to go in a slight angle. Just need to find the right points. Now that's flush, but It's difficult to get it to go up 1/16 of an inch. If I go at the bottom here, I can maybe see that the 16th of an inch space is there. I can move it up slowly. And that might have accomplished the task. I think that's it. Measure that, 1/16 of an inch, that's correct. Now, it's basically the brass leg. Now, in order to do this easily, I'm going to cut the table in two pieces and flip it. Use the push-pull tool to pull it down into infinity, and it disappears. Now we have half a table, and we're going to copy and flip it 180 degrees. And join them together. Flip along the red axis. Now we're going to, again, find the corners and try and snap them together. There we go. There's our table. Get rid of these lines. Clean it up a bit. And we're done. There we are. Using various tools, push, pull, paste, texture. Get rid of these lines. And I will clean up the texture on the bottom. Flip it 100. I'll flip it 90 degrees. Just clean it up. And there's our duplicate table. Rosewood veneer. Clean up the edges here, make it a little neater. Rosewood veneer, brush brass base. And there we are.